Yo, it's getting heated out here in the rap game again. And if you thought the Drake versus Kendrick saga was over, oh no, it's only just beginning. Word on the street is that Kendrick Lamar just dropped a brand new diss track that's got the whole industry shook. Fans are calling it the final nail in the coffin for Drake. While others say Drizzy's already in the studio plotting his revenge. But what's really wild? Insiders claim this time it's not just bars, it's personal. Late last night, social media went crazy when Kendrick's mysterious post hit X, formerly Twitter. Single black and white photo of a broken owl chain. Y'all know what that means? Within minutes, fans were tagging OVOTDE and even Kendrick's old label mates, trying to decode the message. Then, boom, out of nowhere, a track leaks called Thronefall. And listeners swear they heard Kendrick calling Drake out by name. The six been looking shaky, crowns rust in cold weather. That one line alone sent the internet spiraling. Meanwhile, sources close to Drake say he's not taking it well. Word is, he was midway through shooting a luxury brand collab in Toronto when his team brought him the leak. One insider claims Drake stopped everything, told the crew to turn the cameras off, and disappeared for hours. Fans are speculating he's either about to drop a response or he might be facing something deeper, like a betrayal from someone inside his circle. It's tension, emotion, and ego all colliding again in the biggest rap war since Pusha T versus Drake. And this time, everyone's picking sides. Stay locked in because this story's about to explode. It all started just after midnight when the internet went from quiet to chaos in seconds. People were scrolling half asleep when that single post from Kendrick Lamar hit timelines. No caption, no context. Just that haunting photo of a shattered owl chain lying in a puddle, glinting under a streetlight. Fans immediately knew what it meant. The owl has always been Drake's signature. That wasn't a random photo. That was a message, and not a friendly one. Within minutes, the blogs went crazy. Pages like Rap Alert, Academics, and Culture Rep Leg were posting theories faster than anyone could refresh. Is Kendrick sending shots? Drake diss incoming. Kendrick back for the throne. People were tagging both camps, making memes, dropping reaction GIFs, the whole timeline on fire. But while fans were laughing, insiders say something serious was brewing behind the scenes. Sources close to Teed claimed that Kendrick's been sitting on this track for weeks. Apparently, he felt like Drake's been throwing subliminal shade again. Remember those cryptic bars from Drake's last feature, where he said some kings never learn to share their crowns? Fans brushed it off at first, but Kendrick didn't. Reportedly, he took that line personally. One engineer who worked in Kendrick's studio leaked that Kendrick replayed that clip over 50 times. Before going silent for a minute and saying, "All right then, let's talk." That's when he started working on what the world now knows as Thronefall. Here's where it gets wild. According to a producer close to the situation, Kendrick didn't record this track in La. He flew to Chicago under a fake name, booked a private studio through a mutual friend, and told everyone to keep their phones off. Even the producer said he didn't realize what was happening until Kendrick started rapping the first verse. It felt like a storm building, he said. His tone wasn't playful. It was like he'd been holding something in for years. When the leak hit the internet, people lost their minds. The track opens with this eerie, slow piano and Kendrick whispering, "The city loves a king till the smoke clears." Then the beat drops, and he goes in. The bars were brutal, surgical. Fans swear he mentions Drake's ghostwriting controversies again. And there's even a line that says, "You built a temple on the backs of other voices." Ouch. Another part that got people talking is when Kendrick raps, "Check the mirror, 6 God." That reflection looked nervous. It's the kind of diss that hits different when you realize how intentional every word sounds as the internet exploded. Drake's team stayed silent, but silence can be loud. People started noticing that Drake's Instagram comments were getting flooded. Owl emojis turned into broken crowns, fans arguing in the comments like it was a war zone. Then, early the next morning, one of Drake's longtime producers, 40, posted something cryptic on his story. It said, "Truth always finds its mic." Fans took that as a signal that something big was coming from the OVO camp. But behind closed doors, sources say Drake wasn't handling it like usual. One insider, who's been part of his creative team for years, said Drake was visibly frustrated. He was pacing around, talking about loyalty, talking about people switching sides. He wasn't even mad about the bars, it was who leaked it. Apparently, Drake suspects someone from his circle may have been involved in the leak of Thronefall. And get this, the name being whispered. A close friend from the OVO camp who recently had a fallout over business. Meanwhile, social media detectives started digging into who leaked the song. Some claimed it came from a burner account that had previously shared snippets of Drake's unreleased tracks. Others think it came from someone connected to Top Dog Entertainment trying to build hype. But there's a twist. That same account that leaked Kendrick's tracks suddenly started posting screenshots of DMs, allegedly between Kendrick's manager and a Toronto-based engineer. The messages hinted that Kendrick's team wanted the song to accidentally drop to spark buzz before his next project. If that's true, then the leak wasn't an accident at all. It was strategy. But while everyone was analyzing, Kendrick himself stayed silent. No interviews, no tweets, nothing. Just quiet confidence, which made people even more anxious. In contrast, Drake's usual humor disappeared from social media. No jokes, no trolling, just radio silence. That's when rumors started spreading that Drake had scrapped an entire upcoming release and was now working on a new project aimed squarely at Kendrick. One producer said Drake told him, "If they want war, we'll give him history." And that's when things turned even more personal. A few days later, Kendrick was spotted in Compton shooting a music video. Fans recognized the street and started showing up. One guy live-streamed it, and in the background, Kendrick was seen standing next to a burned-out luxury car while rapping into the camera. People are convinced that was symbolic, the burned car representing the end of luxury rap and fake status. But the real shock came when someone noticed a detail. The license plate in the video had 6 letters that spelled views. Coincidence? Fans don't think so. Drake single quotes him, according to those close to him, was pure disbelief. He reportedly told his crew, "I gave that man his flowers, and he gives me fire back." Some insiders say he feels betrayed because he genuinely thought their tension had cooled off after the last round of disses years ago. But Kendrick's team? They're saying this is bigger than rap. They claim it's about setting a record straight, about authenticity in hip-hop, about who really deserves the title of greatest of this generation. And fans are split down the middle. One side screaming Kendrick just ended it, the other side saying Drake always bounces back. Even industry folks are picking sides now. J. Cole, who usually stays neutral, liked a tweet that said, "Truth hurts louder when it's rhymed." That little click of a like sent ripples through the culture by the end of the week. Thronefall had racked up millions of plays despite never being officially released. Radio stations were playing snippets during morning shows. Reaction channels were dissecting every lyric, and celebrities were weighing in. One rapper tweeted, "This might be the verse of the decade." Another said, "Drake's next move gotta be biblical." But just when it seemed like Kendrick had the upper hand, a new rumor started bubbling, something that could flip the story completely. Apparently, there's a voice memo circulating among industry insiders, allegedly of Kendrick, talking about Drake in a way that doesn't match the narrative. Some people say the recording reveals Kendrick admitting he needed to shake things up before his next release, suggesting the beef might be partially orchestrated. If that recording is real, it changes everything, and that's exactly where things started to spiral. Fans started asking, is this real beef or the biggest marketing play of the decade? Drake's silence suddenly seemed strategic instead of emotional. The OVO camp reportedly began inviting select media insiders to a private listening event in Toronto. No one knows what's going to be played there, but the invite's tagline says it all. Truth cuts deeper than bars. And that's where, on the edge of chaos, with both sides tightening their gloves, the industry watching like it's a pay-per-view event. The next move? It could either reignite Drake's dominance or push Kendrick to a legendary status no one can touch. But what happens next changes everything. The Toronto air was cold that night, but the tension was hotter than it had ever been. Everybody who got that mysterious OVO invite knew they were walking into something historic. The message had only one line: truth cuts deeper than bars. No location details until an hour before the event. Even top bloggers and influencers said they were told to keep their phones off. That alone made the internet go crazy. Everyone was guessing where it might happen. Some said it'd be in the OVO store. Others thought it was in a private mansion Drake rents just outside the city. Turns out it was even crazier than anyone expected. Around 11 p.m., luxury black vans started pulling up to a hidden warehouse near the lake. Inside, the place was completely transformed. Dim lights, a massive owl emblem projected on the walls, and just one spotlight in the center where a single chair sat. On that chair, a laptop and a pair of headphones. No stage, no crowd, no performance. This wasn't a concert. This was a statement. A few invited journalists described the atmosphere as eerie, like something was about to be revealed that would shake the culture. One influencer whispered on live, "Yo, if Drake really disses Kendrick tonight, it's over for the year." But no one expected what was actually coming. Drake himself walked in quietly, hoodie up, no entourage, just one security guard. He didn't smile. He didn't wave. He just walked straight to that laptop, looked around the room, and said, "Let's tell the truth." Then the screen behind him lit up with one word: responses. The beat started dark, heavy, with that classic OVO underwater vibe. And then Drake's voice came in, calm, confident. Almost too calm. They want the truth, but they're scared of the echo. Fans inside said the song wasn't just a diss, it was a story. Drake didn't go after Kendrick with direct insults. Instead, he told a narrative about loyalty, fame, and people pretending to be real while playing games behind the curtain. There were lines that fans instantly caught, though, like "you vanish for 5 years and return with rehearsed rage." And "the city that made you can't find your name on its walls anymore." Brutal. Subtle but cutting deep. As soon as the playback ended, the room was silent. No one dared to clap or shout. Drake stood there for a few seconds, nodded once, and said, "I don't rap for tweets. I rap for time." Then he walked out. Within minutes, clips from outside the warehouse started leaking. Someone managed to record the hook of the song, and Twitter exploded again. Drake got his lick back. Drake just ethered Kendrick without even raising his voice. The hashtag #TruthCuts started trending in less than an hour. Kendrick's fans, though, weren't buying it. They called it too soft, too polished, and accused Drake of dodging the real heat. But then a twist hit the timeline that nobody saw coming. One of Kendrick's old collaborators, a producer who hadn't worked with him in years, posted a story that said, "Funny how people scream truth when they hide the biggest one." He then uploaded what appeared to be a screenshot of an email between Drake's manager and a certain journalist, implying that the leak of Kendrick's diss might have been engineered by OVO. From the start, that single post sent everything into chaos. People started theorizing that Drake might have known about Thronefall weeks before it dropped. Some even claimed that OVO had insiders feeding them details from Kendrick's camp. And just when that theory started to pick up traction, Drake's close friend and security chief, Chubbs, posted a photo of him and Drake laughing with the caption, "Funny how they think they control the storm." That post alone reignited Team Drake's confidence, with fans flooding the comments saying, "The sixth god moves in silence." But things didn't stay one-sided for long. Less than 24 hours later, Kendrick finally broke his silence. Kind of. He didn't post a statement or an interview. Instead, he uploaded a 15-second black and white clip on his Instagram. It was just him, sitting in a dark studio, pen in hand, tapping the table while a faint beat played in the background. Then he looked up at the camera and said 3 words, "Round 2, loading." And the internet went wild again. People started counting down the hours, waiting for another drop. Reaction channels were refreshing YouTube every minute. TikTok creators posting theories, fans doing fake leaks just for clout. Kendrick had turned the silence into suspense. Some said he was mastering the art of psychological warfare, making Drake sweat before even releasing another song. And while all that was happening online, something else started brewing offline. Rumors of a confrontation. One Toronto promoter claimed that Drake's and Kendrick's entourages almost ran into each other at a private event in LA. Apparently, Kendrick's cousin and Drake's producer got into a heated argument, and words were exchanged that almost turned physical. Nobody pulled out cameras, but witnesses said it was tense enough to stop the music. One source described it like this: "It wasn't about music anymore. It was about pride." Then another curveball, a leaked phone call hit Reddit. It was supposedly between a well-known DJ and a member of Drake's team, where the OVO rep said, "This next drop from Kendrick ain't gonna land how they think." Fans started wondering if Drake had something planned. Maybe another track, maybe some kind of personal reveal. People even started making memes, like Drake got files on everyone. Meanwhile, Kendrick's team stayed composed. A source close to him told a magazine, "Kendrick ain't reacting, he's responding. There's a difference." They hinted that his next track would be even more direct, maybe even naming names. And then, to make things crazier, fans discovered that Kendrick had just registered a new song title with BMI. The name: Mirror Verse. Immediately, people started theorizing that it was the follow-up to Thronefall. Overnight, Mirror Verse became the most anticipated unreleased song in the world. Even other rappers started chiming in. Megan Thee Stallion tweeted, "The bars are burning this week, y'all." While Lil Baby posted a cryptic emoji, just a popcorn bucket. That one emoji became a meme everywhere. But as all this drama was unfolding, was a deeper layer that most people weren't noticing. Both Kendrick and Drake were playing this like chess, not checkers. Every move seemed calculated. Analysts started saying that both artists were secretly benefiting from the chaos. Streams were skyrocketing, merch was selling, and both names dominated every trending chart. It was like watching 2 generals go to war, but each one controlling the narrative. Still, not everyone was convinced it was all business. One emotional voice note surfaced on a fan page, allegedly from someone close to Kendrick's camp, saying he's taking this personal now. He feels like Drake been mocking the culture, playing the role of a king without paying dues. That's real. Then this wasn't just entertainment, it was about respect, legacy, and identity. A week passed and still no official release from Kendrick. Fans were losing patience. But then, suddenly, YouTube notifications started popping up, an unlisted link from Kendrick's verified channel titled Mirror Verse Visual. Within seconds, links started spreading like wildfire. The visual was haunting. Just Kendrick walking through an empty hallway full of mirrors, each one reflecting a different version of himself. And as the beat dropped, he started rapping directly to the camera. They love the clone, not the code that built it. Then he added, "They crown puppets, not prophets." That line broke the internet. Everyone knew who he was talking about. Within 2 hours, the visual had 2 million views. Fans were declaring it the best diss of the decade. Drake's name was trending in over 10 countries. Reaction videos, breakdowns, analysis, everyone had an opinion. But even more shocking was the ending. Kendrick stared into the final mirror, smashed it with his hand, and said, "Truth cuts both ways." Fans instantly connected that to Drake's earlier event tagline, "Truth cuts deeper than bars." Was Kendrick mocking Drake's message, or was he flipping it back on him? No one could tell. That's where the narrative started to twist again. Now, fans were asking, is this war actually deeper than rap? Are we witnessing 2 icons exposing each other's truths piece by piece? The streets, the blogs, the fans, everyone wanted to know what would happen next. Because at this point, it wasn't just about who dropped the better song. It was about who could control the story. And that's where we leave off Kendrick's Mirrorverse breaking the internet. Drake silent once again, and the world waiting for the next move. But trust, the next chapter takes this from rap beef to full-blown cultural chaos. The night Mirrorverse dropped. It felt like the whole internet stopped breathing. Timelines froze, reaction videos hit millions of views overnight. And even people who didn't follow rap were suddenly talking about the Kendrick and Drake situation. The memes? The think pieces? The fan theories? Everything was going crazy. One fan even tweeted, "I feel like I'm watching history unfold in real time." But behind the scenes, the mood wasn't just hype. It was tension. Sources say Drake's camp was quiet for almost 48 hours after the video went live. No one from OVO posted anything. No producers, no engineers, not even the usual OVO affiliates who love to stir things up online. Insiders describe the mood inside the OVO offices as focused but uneasy, apparently. Drake was taking this one personally, one close friend told a journalist. Drake's not mad at the bars, he's mad at how deep Kendrick went. He thinks Kendrick's trying to rewrite history. Because in Mirrorverse, Kendrick didn't just rap about music. He went after legacy, after reputation, after the idea of who really runs the game. It wasn't just a diss track. It was like a challenge to the throne itself. Meanwhile, Kendrick was still quiet. No interviews, no statements, no tweets. He'd drop a bomb and vanish, letting the world argue for him. People were calling it silent dominance. Others said he was just being strategic. But whatever it was working because now everyone was waiting on Drake. Everyone was waiting on Drake. Rumors started flying that Drake had locked himself in the studio for 3 straight nights. One producer tweeted, "No sleep, no distractions, just heat." Fans were begging for any sign of a response. Then, one night around 3 a.m., an OVO insider posted an Instagram story that just said the calm before the storm. That one sentence got reposted thousands of times in minutes. The next morning, rap blogs went crazy again. Whispers said Drake was preparing a 3-part response, not just one track, but a trilogy, each one addressing a different truth about the music, about the industry, about what nobody knows. That phrase, "what nobody knows," became the biggest mystery online. Fans started speculating it could be something about Kendrick's personal life, his team, maybe even something from years ago that Drake had been holding on to, as the anticipation built. Other artists began picking sides. A few major names posted cryptic messages. Schoolboy Q tweeted, "The smoke too thick. I can't even see the crown." Travis Scott liked a post that said, "OVO stays undefeated." Even Rihanna's fan pages got involved, bringing up old interviews and linking them to the feud. It felt like the entire culture was splitting in two, Team Kendrick or Team Drake. No middle ground left on. Then suddenly a snippet leaked. A grainy clip of what sounded like Drake's voice over a haunting beat, saying, "You polished your pain for applause." Within minutes, the internet exploded again. People said the track was titled Scorpion's Letter. But here's where it gets even more dramatic. This snippet was allegedly leaked by someone inside Kendrick's fan base. And this time OVO wasn't denying it. In fact, they started reposting it everywhere by midnight. Scorpion's Letter dropped officially. The track was chilling. No hook, no auto-tune, just Drake rapping for almost 5 minutes straight. He didn't yell, he didn't brag, he just spoke like a man who'd been pushed too far. "You talk about thrones, but forget who built the castle," he said. "You hide behind purpose, I live in pressure." Then, halfway through, he dropped a line that made the whole internet freeze. "You said truth cuts both ways. You sure you want to bleed too?" Fans were stunned. Drake had flipped Kendrick's line back at him like a weapon. Within hours, #Scorpion's Letter was trending at #1 worldwide. The song hit every streaming platform's front page. Even Kendrick's fans had to admit this wasn't a light jab. This was Drake at his sharpest, .com, but deadly. But then came the twist nobody expected. At the end of the track, after a long pause, Drake's voice came back, quieter this time. He said, "This ain't about music anymore. It's about the mask you wear when the cameras turn off." Fans immediately started speculating that Drake was hinting at something deeper, maybe something personal about Kendrick that hadn't been made public yet. And that's when the drama spilled over into real life. Reports came out that Kendrick's management had reached out privately to Drake's label, asking them to keep things about music. Allegedly, they didn't want any personal details being aired out, but by then, it was too late. Gossip pages had already started digging. One even claimed they found a hidden link between Drake's latest video and one of Kendrick's close associates. The kind of messy stuff that turns rap beef into reality, TV-level scandal. The situation got even messier when Kendrick's fiancée, Whitney, posted a cryptic story on her Instagram. It was a simple quote, "Sometimes peace costs too much." Fans instantly tied it to the beef. Assuming she was referencing the stress Kendrick was under, that post went viral in minutes, spawning headlines like "Kendrick's home life shaken amid Drake feud." Emotions were running high, and it didn't stop there. Drake's old collaborator, The Weeknd, who's had a complicated history with OVO, jumped into the conversation. During one of his concerts, right before singing Reminder, he changed a lyric on stage. Instead of saying, "Got a sweet Asian chick, she go lo mein," he said everybody wanted diss, till it's no game. The crowd screamed. People swore it was a subtle shot supporting Drake. The beef had officially gone beyond rap. It was cultural. It was personal. And both sides were now living it in real time. Then came the biggest shock yet. A new leak surfaced. Not a song this time, but a video. The footage showed a private studio session, apparently from months ago, where Drake and Kendrick were seen talking in person. Nobody knew this meeting ever happened. The clip was short, just them laughing, dapping up, and saying something about keeping it brotherly. Fans were stunned. Were they cool before this all started? Did something happen between then and now that broke the peace? People started reanalyzing everything. Old interviews, tweets, even their body language at award shows. One fan made a viral video showing that during the Grammy afterparty last year, Drake tried to approach Kendrick and was brushed off. The clip hit millions of views overnight. Commenters were calling it the moment everything changed. Kendrick's silence was once again deafening. Days passed. Drake kept moving, posting photos in the studio, subtle captions like "still writing." His energy felt calm but confident, like a man waiting for the final word. And then on the 7th day after Scorpion's letter, a simple announcement dropped from Kendrick's verified page. "The chapter closes tonight." The post had no picture, no video, no teaser. Just that one sentence. The internet lost its mind. Everyone knew what it meant. Kendrick was about to drop his final response. But right before midnight, something unexpected happened. Drake went live on Instagram. Over 500,000 people tuned in instantly. He wasn't in a studio. He was in his home, sitting by the piano, looking tired but calm. He didn't diss. He didn't boast. He just said, "I've said my piece. I respect the game, but I'm done feeding the fire." Then he played a soft melody and ended the live. Fans were speechless. Was that it? Was Drake walking away? But Kendrick clearly wasn't done yet, because 15 minutes later, his track dropped. The title, "Ashes to Empire." And this one was Nuclear. The beat opened with a distorted voice saying, "You said truth cuts, but you never faced the blade." Kendrick's tone was sharper than ever. He rapped about the cost of fame, the illusion of friendship, and the poison of power. But buried in the middle of the verse was one line that broke the internet again. They said the owl saw everything, but who watched the owl? People screamed. Theories exploded. Did Kendrick just accuse Drake of something deeper? Was he hinting at industry secrets? No one knew, but everyone was hooked. And just like that, the cycle reignited again. Kendrick's Ashes to Empire versus Drake's Scorpion's Letter. Fans comparing lyrics, celebrities reacting, radio stations debating. It was no longer about music charts. It was about history, about who would walk away as the true voice of this generation. And that's where with the world divided. Both legends standing tall, but the air thick with unresolved tension. And trust in, things get real. Because when secrets start surfacing and alliances crack, the truth everyone's been waiting for finally comes to light. The morning after Ashes to Empire dropped, social media felt like a war zone. Timelines flooded with breakdowns, lyric analyses, and heated arguments. Every influencer, blogger, and fan seemed to have their own theory about who had the upper hand. Some called Kendrick the cold assassin. Others said Drake's calm precision proved he was untouchable. The culture was split in two, Team Owl or Team King. Inside Kendrick's camp, emotions ran high. One source said the family was left divided after Ashes to Empire leaked. Some members were thrilled, calling it historic, while others worried about the personal shots at Drake. Reportedly, Kendrick spent the night reading reactions, smiling at the praise, but also visibly tense. Friends whispered, he's enjoying the chaos, but he's also thinking 10 moves ahead. Drake, on the other hand, seemed almost eerily calm. OVO sources described him walking through the Toronto studio in silence, nodding occasionally to his producers. He reportedly didn't comment publicly for the first 24 hours after Kendrick's drop. Fans started panicking, thinking maybe Drake was shaken. But insiders say he was strategizing, planning something no one saw coming. Then came the twist that made the feud truly historic. A leaked DM thread surfaced between Drake and an unknown music executive, allegedly discussing details from Kendrick's unreleased demos. According to screenshots circulating online, Drake had known some of Kendrick's lyrics weeks before Mirrorverse even dropped. Naturally, conspiracy theories exploded. Was Drake planning all along to counter Kendrick at every turn? Did OVO have inside access? The speculation alone fueled millions of tweets and YouTube clips overnight. Amid all this, streets were buzzing with rumors of an actual confrontation. Paparazzi caught Kendrick leaving a studio in Law late at night wearing sunglasses despite the dark, flanked by his security. An anonymous witness told a blogger Drake's team was rumored to be nearby. The energy was insane. It wasn't just music. It was a standoff. Sources claim words were exchanged, but luckily, no physical altercation occurred. Still, the videos leaked online, and fans went wild with comments like, "The tension you can feel through the screen. The tension you can feel through the screen." The internet was obsessed. Every detail, no matter how small, was blown up. A clip of Drake adjusting his hoodie in a private elevator became a viral meme. Kendrick's silence while reading fan reactions sparked countless reaction videos and late-night analyses. The drama wasn't just music anymore. It was a cultural phenomenon. But the real firestorm came when Kendrick posted a mysterious snippet on TikTok. In it, he rapped over a distorted beat. "The crown weighs heavy, even kings bleed in shadows." The post lasted less than 15 seconds, but had fans screaming. Everyone interpreted it as a direct response to Drake's calm demeanor and Scorpion's letter. Speculation about the meaning ran wild. Some said it hinted at personal revelations. Others believed it was a metaphor for Drake's carefully controlled image. Drake responded in the quietest way possible. Instead of a song or post, he released a limited merch line with the tagline, "Everything revealed, nothing hidden." Fans immediately dissected the slogan. Was it a nod to Kendrick? A flex about transparency? Or just classic OVO branding genius? The line between business and personal had officially blurred. Then, the most shocking revelation hit. A whistleblower allegedly leaked footage of a late-night recording session between Drake and Kendrick from months before the feud escalated. In the video, the two were laughing, joking, and talking about potential collaborations. Fans could not believe it. The implication was explosive. Whatever had caused the war wasn't born from rivalry. It had been manufactured or at least amplified by circumstances outside their control. This twist created a new layer of drama. Now people were questioning motives, authenticity, and loyalty. Celebrities started weighing in too. Megan Thee Stallion posted an ambiguous tweet: "Watch the throne crumble or rise. History is watching." Travis Scott liked and reposted various clips, hinting at alliances shifting. Even Jay-Z and Beyoncé fans began scrutinizing subtle references, arguing whether the old moguls were influencing the new generation's feud. The internet couldn't keep up. It was like watching a live, never-ending reality TV episode unfold in rap. Meanwhile, the rumor mill exploded about potential family drama. Sources close to Kendrick hinted that Ashes to Empire had strained his relationship with some relatives who feared the personal attacks were too much. They reportedly told him, "Don't let this spill into real life." Fans immediately ran with it, speculating that Kendrick's lyrics might have contained hidden jabs about Drake's crew, personal history, or even his friends and family. Each theory was wilder than the last. As the week progressed, it became clear the feud had reached legendary status. Streaming numbers for both artists were astronomical. Every platform was talking about them. Reaction videos dominated YouTube, and every news cycle mentioned the saga. Analysts even suggested this could be the biggest rap war of the decade, and maybe even history. It wasn't just music anymore. It was a cultural event. Then came the final twist, the one nobody saw coming. Kendrick scheduled a surprise live stream on Instagram at midnight, titled "Truth Unveiled." Fans flooded in by the hundreds of thousands. Kendrick appeared on camera, uncut and unfiltered. He didn't diss, he didn't brag, he just spoke. He said, "We've been playing roles, we've been testing the waters, and the culture's been watching. Maybe it's time to stop. Maybe it's time for the truth to be bigger than our egos." The live stream lasted over an hour. Kendrick addressed not just Drake, but the fans, the industry, and himself. He confessed that the feud had taken a personal toll, admitted that some lines were exaggerated for impact, and hinted at a future where collaboration could happen again. Fans were shocked, emotions ran high, and the internet exploded with headlines like "Kendrick calls truce." Drake responded the next day, but in classic OVO style, not with a song, not with words, but with action. He announced a joint charitable project with Kendrick to support underprivileged youth in Los Angeles and Compton. The move was subtle, calculated, and brilliantly viral. It reframed the narrative. What had seemed like a rap war turned into a cultural reset. Fans were stunned, commentators were scrambling, and analysts praised the genius of turning conflict into influence. The final weeks after the feud saw fans dissect every lyric, every look, and every post. Reaction videos, breakdowns, and theory threads dominated social media. Some said Kendrick had won the lyrical war. Others credited Drake for mastering the art of perception. Either way, the saga became the ultimate case study in modern music, social media influence, and the power of storytelling in rap. And as both artists slowly returned to normal releases, the tension lingered. Fans remained vigilant, analyzing every song for hidden jabs or subtle references. The industry learned to expect the unexpected. The culture had been shifted forever, and while the feud officially ended, the legend of the Kendrick-Drake saga would be told for years. Inspiring videos, essays, and endless conversations online. Wraps up. One thing is clear. It wasn't just a diss, a song, or a viral moment. It was a story, raw, dramatic, and unforgettable. Every reaction, every twist, every late-night live stream, every mysterious post, every leaked snippet, it all built to a climax that no one saw coming. And the best part? The fans are still hungry. They're still debating, theorizing, and sharing. The legend isn't over, it's immortal. And that's where Kendrick and Drake, still icons, still relevant, still dominant. With the world watching every move, every post, every lyric, waiting for the next chapter in a saga that will go down in history as one of the most sensational rap wars ever documented. And just like that, the dust begins to settle, but the echoes of this legendary rap war are far from gone. Fans are still shocked, timelines are still buzzing, and the debates rage on. Who really had the upper hand? Did Drake's calm precision outsmart Kendrick's lyrical genius? Or did Kendrick's raw intensity and ashes to empire truly leave Drake reeling? The family was left divided, the fans were divided, and even the industry insiders are still picking sides. Emotions ran high, secrets spilled. And every move these two icons make is now under a microscope. What we do know is this: history was made. A series of tracks, leaked snippets, live stream confessions, and even cryptic posts created a narrative no one could have predicted. It wasn't just about music anymore, it was about legacy, loyalty, and the power of influence in a world where every word, every bar, and every gesture is amplified 1,000 times. Kendrick and Drake reminded us all that rap isn't just entertainment, it's drama, strategy, and sometimes pure spectacle. So now the question is up to you. Where do you stand? Team Al or Team King? Are you still analyzing the bars, hunting for hidden messages, or waiting for the next surprise move? The story isn't over, and the legends aren't done. And trust me, when two of the biggest names in the game collide, the world will keep watching. If you felt the intensity, if you lived every leak, every lyric, every late-night drama with us, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to comment below with your take. Who really won this war? And what do you think is coming next? This is the kind of saga you tell your friends about, and we're just getting started. Stay tuned, because in the world of rap, the drama never sleeps. The drama never sleeps.